it's a song. It's Robin. And she runs and then she just starts doing the dance. I'm in the corner watching you kiss her. Oh. Hey guys, welcome to itstinoten. I am Tina and you're at my YouTube channel. Ah, so this is my second video and today we will be talking about a movie called Voicemails for Isabelle. It's on Netflix and it was released on the 19th of June this year, 2026 on Netflix. I said that already. And it stars Zoe Dutch from Set It Up. I'm sure everyone has watched that movie. If you haven't, go watch it. It's on Netflix. It stars Nick Robinson. I think we all know Nick Robinson from Fifth Wave and Everything. I don't really remember watching Fifth Wave, but I have watched Everything. I feel like Everything was like my intro into like the romance world, like movie wise. Oh my gosh, I love that movie so much. I used to watch it on like a yearly basis, but I haven't watched it in such a long time. Yeah, but I love that movie. So the description of the movie goes as follows. Voicemails for Isabel is a romantic comedy drama streaming on Netflix, directed by Leah McKendrick. She worked, okay, that's all I want to say. The story follows a young pastry chef, Joe, who's played by Zoe Dutch, who copes with the death of her sister Isabel by leaving daily chaotic voicemails on her old phone number. Unbeknownst to her, the number is reassigned to Liz, who is played by Nick Robinson, an Austin real estate agent who slowly begins to fall in love with her. The cast is amazing, I must say. Isabel, the sister who dies. Oh my goodness gracious! I remember watching her on Big Time Rush, and she just killed it. Like, oof, she made me cry. Um, so yeah, that that is what the movie is about. Um, it's about the sister who dies, and then Joe, the alive sister, now has to cope with that grief and everything, and she starts sending her old sister's number on voicemails, and then this guy starts getting these voicemails. It's amazing, and I love how they film. Okay, I'm gonna get into that later, but like I love how everything is filmed. It's just like perfect. Like the storytelling is amazing, like hands down. I watched the movie twice because I really wanted to, know, um, see little details and possibly like try to catch things that I maybe have missed the first time around. So I watched it twice. I I recommend if you like insane like me who like watches things and like over analyzes everything, I recommend you watch it twice. But if you're just watching it for the vibes and you just want to go cry and you just want to watch people fall in love, you can watch it once. It's a perfect feel good movie. And when I say feel good, in the same sense as like, I feel like maybe for you it's like more gut wrenching. Even like The Fault in Our Stars. I don't know. Like the same way The Fault in Our Stars can be a comfort movie, like or a feel good movie. Same way this one can be also. But my review, I thought it was a good movie. It had like amazing elements to it. Like 10 minutes in, I was bawling, bawling my eyes out because the little girls who portray Isabel and Jill, oh my goodness gracious, they are just the most perfect little actresses ever. They're so cute. The oh, actually, I'm not. No, I don't want to cry. I want to cry. But their acting is just amazing. When the opening scene, and you hear somebody telling you friend. Mm, 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 mm. And you just hear Dancing on My Own by Robin playing the beats, and then you get to the opening where she's like getting ready to kiss this guy. It's like, what? Why are you watching like a 12 or 11-year-old do this? And then it cuts to her going to tell her sister about it. My heart literally melted because that's such a sister thing to do, like to do something and then go home quickly and go tell your sister about it. And ah, crap, like I loved it so much. And I feel like if you didn't really like understand, or if that moment didn't really capture your heart, it does at a later stage when she confesses to Wes that she would do the craziest things just so that she would be able to go back and tell her sister about, so that the sister could laugh. When I heard her say that, I immediately thought back to that moment where she literally just went back to her and reported what she had done, and they just had like the cutest moment where they just laughed, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, how was it? How was it?" And she was just describing the entire moment and everything. And then when it went south, like she did not hesitate. Jill did not hesitate to throw hands when it went south, like, and then being expelled. Was she expelled or suspended? I'm not sure, but it wasn't the first time either. And then they got to stay at home. Oh, I honestly, the opening scene just broke me. I had tears in my eyes before the movie had officially begun, or before like the the sadness had started, because I was like, no, this is a beautiful, beautiful bond. Like, no. And I feel like this because I have a sister of my own. So it just feels like a bit personal, I guess. Like it hits closer to home. I thought it was a great movie. However, like if I think of like that little moment in the beginning of the movie, I'm like, perfect. And then the middle was oof, 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 oof. I must say, it does get a bit boring, but it is a good movie nonetheless. Because I feel like in every movie, there's always like a high and then a low and then a high again, like the structure. So yeah, I liked it, but I felt like there are some, should I say plot? No, it's the same plot though. I think like when she and Riz were like growing their friendship, whatever, I feel like that could have that could have been more interesting because I felt like it was really boring. Yeah, to me, honestly, if that was more interesting, the movie overall would have been so much better. But I felt like they were like really boring, and I also didn't like how she found out. Ugh, okay, I don't want to spoil anything, but she so he was getting the voicemails, and then they did this thing where he tried to go tell her, but then she was asleep. Like he finally said it that, oh, like, oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this. So they were sitting on the couch watching TV. Like they are now into each other. Like they had grown this friendship, and now they were, you know, being friends or what, like not being more than friends. And he was like working up the courage to tell her before it progresses to anything further. And then he does, and it pans to her asleep. I felt like that is so overdone in like, I don't want to say Hollywood, but like in the series and the TVs, like whatever. I feel like that is super overdone. I feel like if he had not gotten the courage, that would have been so much better than him getting the courage and then she being asleep. Felt like that was, ugh, it was a meh moment. Like that could have not even been included. Um, yeah, I didn't like that. So then when she actually did find out, I was like, took you long enough, but I was also like, crap, that's anticlimactic. Like reveals are so important because if it's done wrong, then it's like, so what was I watching for, you know? But if it's done right, you literally like sit up on your seat and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to know more. What's gonna happen now? And I feel like it wasn't done right. I'm sorry to say, but it wasn't done right. I think I've read enough romance books, like the anonymous texting, and then they figure out that, oh, it's you, whatever. Like I've done enough of those to like to kind of get to a point where I'm like, no, I need to see something more interesting or more exciting. Maybe to someone else that the way she found out was perfect and it was so like shocking. But to me, it wasn't. It was like, on to the next. However, I loved the conflict. I loved the conflict when she found out, she started walking away, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, Joe, Joe." He's like, "No," and he was like, "Oh, sorry, I tried to tell you." Da, 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 da. And she realized, oh my goodness, the meet cute was because of the voicemail. He knew about Isabelle like this and that's like it just came to her and she was like, "Oh, you don't understand. I don't need a man. I just need my sister back." I loved that. I really, 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 really loved that because that is so relatable. Like nobody needs a man. Let's be for real. She just needs her sister. Let's be for real. She's always going to have that hole in her life, which her sister filled. And now that she doesn't have her sister, like him being there doesn't really help. That was my takeaway, I guess. I don't know if that's wrong, but that was my takeaway from the I don't need a man like stance. Yeah. And I also liked how she like lost it over the chef guy. I really, really, really loved that. I feel like that was long overdue because the first scene of like him having that like slow the what's the word, slow motion like montage of him like chopping things and what, I was like, what the actual, like, who's this douchebag? And then seeing how he was treating the women and the men in the kitchen, I was like, no, I actually want to get through the screen and punch this guy. Like, no, 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 no. So I really, really, really loved it when she lost her marbles and like was like, no, you're from Wisconsin. Your name is not this. Your name is actually that. And you were fourth. Did she say fourth or third? I think she said fourth, yeah. And you were fourth on Top Chef. I was like, preach, sis, preach. Like, make this guy feel like he's a man child. Because that is what he exactly is. And I love that her breaking point was her not getting the baker position. Because like we worked up towards it that she wanted that baker position so badly. This guy is a man, so he gets it. Like that was actually bollocks in my point of view, in my opinion. But what do I know? I'm just a watcher and a reviewer, I guess. But yeah, I love that moment where she just lost her marbles. I felt like it was perfect. Also, the top shift thing was foreshadowed and the San Francisco thing was foreshadowed because in the beginning they have like Jill and Isabel when they were younger. They have like this cooking montage and then they pan to a TV screen and Top Shift plays and then the bridge of San Francisco. And I only noticed this the second time I watched it and then I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And they show the Jill and Easy like banner sign thing. I don't know. And then they after that they show Jill now going to her bench, which is literally just a bench overlooking the view of San Francisco and then the bridge that we had seen on the TV. It's just perfect. It's amazing. And then that shift guy being on top shift, and then that Jill and Easy banner, being given to her later by her parents, and then that being like the main banner um on her like taco dessert taco thing. Yeah. Ah, things I didn't like. I already told you guys the things I didn't like, but honestly, oof, this is a bit controversial because Wiz's friends. the woman is the director. However, I don't like Wiz's friends. Mm, I don't like them at all. I felt like the conversations were really annoying. I don't know, there wasn't chemistry, in my opinion. Felt like the chemistry between Jill and her parents was like more, what's the word? More developed. Yeah, like their chemistry was chemistry compared to Wiz's chemistry with his parents. Mm, not his parents, gosh, his friends. The only thing I liked about Wiz's friends was when the guy slapped Wiz. I was like, yes, he deserves that. But of like other than that, also at the end of the movie when he was like moping and sulking, and she was like, "No, babes, like go after your girl." I liked that too because I was like, "Yeah, someone needs to tell him." No, I always love those moments, even in books where there's like that one person who motivates the person and is like, "Go get your girl, go get your man." I love that so much. Um, yeah, and I don't like seeing Will sing. I don't know. You guys know, like, oh my gosh, actually, okay, I don't know who has read Twisted Love, but do you guys remember the moment where Alex Volkov sang SANG for Ava? Does anyone remember that? If you do, in case you do, you guys hated it. I, however, didn't mind it. I was like, so he can sing. It's not that deep. Yes, he's a grouch. Yes, he's a businessman. Yes, he's mean. Yes, he's dangerous. But he can sing. Let the guy sing. After watching this movie twice and seeing Wes sing twice, I was like, yeah, I get it now. I get it now. I think reading it on paper and like coming up with your own visualization, that was where I was wrong. I was like, oh no, this is fine. But no, when I saw racing, I was like, oh no, no. I actually hated that. And then when people like joined in, I was like, oh, no. I think if they sang, I didn't know if the song that they were singing was a real song or if it was like just made up by Nick Robinson himself or like by the writers or something. But yeah, I don't like it. But I don't want to see I don't want to see Liz singing or Nick Robinson sing. That was not a pleasant experience. Not that he can't sing. The scene was not for me. It made me think of Alex Volkov and how I didn't mind that. But now with this perspective, maybe if I had read it with this perspective, maybe I would mind it because that was not cute. Um, I loved Walter from Golden Gate Giggles. That was hilarious. I actually laughed at him. Like, not at him, but like at the jokes he was telling. That was hilarious. And then when he would say like, not say, but read out the responses, like, you know how I'm like, are you ready, kids? Aye, aye, Captain. But now he wouldn't wait for anyone to respond. He would now read out, aye, aye, Captain, for example. Hilarious. I'm not explaining it well because I'm really bad at this, like explaining things. But yeah, that mm, describing, explaining. I'm really bad at describing things. Um, the meet cute was really cute. Like the moment they met, Wiz and what's her name? Uh, Wiz and Joel. Oh my gosh, I love that moment because she had just spoken about it that she wishes as she's like sitting down there and eating sweet. A guy would come and sit next to her and like just talk about how beautiful the scenery is, and I don't know what else she said, but I really loved that he listened to that voicemail and found her and did exactly what she wished a guy would do, which is sit next to her, ask her for her name, try to make a conversation, and feel the undeniable sparks between them. So cute. I really love that. And I like that when he asked for her name. Wait, yeah. When he asked her for her name, she was chewing her food. So then she had to chew and chew and chew and chew and chew until she was finished, and then she could speak to him. I felt like that was like super hilarious and it is super relatable. I think that has happened to me where like I take a sip of water or I'm eating and like I'm in a conversation with someone and then they ask me a question and then I have to chew like not super fast but like I have to now try to chew to get this like crab down my throat or like, the water or whatever. I feel like that was super relatable. I liked that. I don't know if anyone else liked that, but I really did. And I love that they use the phrase, this is our Joe and Isabel. If I'm a bird, you're a bird. I did not get time to research whether that is from a movie or something, but I like that at the end of the movie, she she calls Isabel for one last time, and she says to her, "Wes is a bird. He's one of us. He's like us. He's a bird." I, oh my gosh, the tears just started falling out when she said that. And when he called her also, I was like, yeah, just end it now. Just end it now. Like, stop it. Cry. And he was like asking her for her blessing. And he asked her to give him a sign. And then Robin started playing. And they were like, wait. And so they were both calling her for context. And he was like, oh yeah, honey, supposed to go sign, wada. And then she on the other side, she realized Robin is playing and she goes, you see, it's a song. It's Robin. And she runs and then she just starts doing the dance. I'm in the corner watching you kiss her. Oh, I'm waiting for you. I'm never done. I'm not the girl you're taking on. Okay.